Hello, hello. Well, the D-Day has come, and by D, I mean 22nd of November, aka the last day of this year's Luksuz Cheap Films Festival. So thank you so much for joining our actually farewell online session today on this lovely Sunday. And we're finishing strong, with some good music, with some good vibes, music videos and discussions along and between those lines. So we have two filmmakers and also mentors of this year's Kino Trip pre-festival workshop here with us, Matevž and Matic. Hello, hello. You'll see them in just a bit. And and then later we also have participants of this workshop. So like at 5 o'clock, we have another Q&A, and they are also joining us to discuss what was going on there as well. So this morning, all the videos that they made to music spots, we screened them on our YouTube channel, premiered this morning, and they're still available for you to watch until the end of this Sunday. So, use this chance, and if you want some musical vibes and enjoy some visual art, make sure to go there and check this out as well. But right now, we'll be discussing the very unique forum of an art forum of music videos, actually, and their creative opportunities and also limitations on the other side. So as always, viewers, if you have any comments and questions, write us on Facebook, and we'll try our best to answer them at the end or during this discussion. And yeah, by the way, my name is Spela. I'm one of the volunteers here at Luksuz, and with me today also Sasha, also from Luksuz, and she'll be leading this discussion. Okay, so let's start. Sasha, here you go.
Thank you, Spela. I just want to ask you to check if we're actually live on Facebook, because I don't see it.
Yes.
Yes, okay, super cool. So I'm very glad that this sunny Sunday, we kind of final part of the sunny Sunday we can spend in this very nice company of Matevž and Matic and all our viewers. And basically, as it was already announced on our Facebook, like the topic of our talk and the topic of this final day of Luksuz Cheap Films Festival is music video, and from the perspective of art and craft. And today I offer that we have this kind of speed Q&A, speed dating Q&A, fast questions, fast answers, and we will just basically, the idea is that we inspire others maybe to try their creativity also in making music videos. So I'm very happy that we are today, and I would like first of all to ask Matevž and Matic to present themselves shortly, like what they do and how they actually came to this how to say to this profession, maybe, as music video makers. So maybe we can start, Matevž, with you.
Hi everyone, thank you Sasha, Spela, and everyone from Luksuz to have invited us for this short talk. So I'm Matevž Jerman. I started as a film critic and a colleague at the Slovenian Cinematheque. I work for several film festivals, especially short film festivals. I also am the program director at FEC and Ljubljana Short Film Festival in Kino Otok in Lviv. And among everything else, I also sometimes direct short films and music videos. And it just came like from this small passion or a hobby to, let's say, to this rate that I make 2 or 3, let's say, more produced music videos per year.
Thank you, Matevž. Matic?
Yeah, hi everyone, and thanks for having me as well. My name is Matic Zavodnik. I am a freelance DP and co-founder of Discount Film Production for like some time now. So I got into video production like in early days when snowboarding, mainly because I was like snowboarding and editing videos, and this kind of led to my passion for like camera. And I continued with like making, I don't know, like videos, either it was music videos or it was snowboard videos or it was like short films or commercials, and I keep doing it till now. And music video is just like, I don't know, so I wouldn't call it a profession since it's hard to make money from it, but it's a passion, I think, and we try to do like a music video or 2 a year at least.
Thank you, Matic, as well. This is very good that you mentioned the question of profession and budgets, let's say so. Yeah, this is an interesting question that maybe today we will also touch a bit. But I would like to start maybe with kind of some gymnastic for our brains somehow, but also maybe to reflect a bit on what you're doing and basically in some funny way, maybe to reflect on this. And the question would be like, can you give us 5 reasons to do music videos, your personal reasons, and 5 reasons never do them again, or maybe not even to start.
Should I answer first?
Yes,
5 reasons why to do a music video. For me, firstly, the music has to inspire me. I mean, I have to like the music in the first place. So this would be like the first critic point. And then, I don't know, like people around it, you have to enjoy it. Since you're doing it probably for free, you have to have a good time. So that would be. And then probably idea that you want to tell. I don't know. Is it something that you really want to show? So good idea. If you're without idea, then I would say don't do it because it's a waste of time. And I wouldn't do it like in bad company or like in extreme, I don't know, conditions. I don't know. But mostly good company, good music, and good ideas. That's a good recipe.
Thank you. It sounds really kind of pleasant situation if all these aspects come together. Matevž, and for you?
Yes, actually, I need to agree with Matic. So the main reason is probably fun, because it's the most you can get directing music videos in Slovenia, I think, and you should so take this chance to enjoy the process, surround yourself with nice people that you like to work with. Another reason is that you can experiment a lot with music videos. They're really close to short films from my point of view. So you get this really small budget with which you can develop, let's say, a really simple idea and put it into realization. So it's this freedom of, let's say, creativity and experiment, and of course music. You need to love music, and as Matic said, you probably don't want to make a video for a song you don't like. Don't do music videos if you want to earn a lot of money, especially in Slovenia again, because if you want to do the interesting stuff, it's always like in more this alternative, or it's not the mainstream music that allows you, let's say, to experiment a lot. Yeah, so basically this is it.
And why not to do music videos? What would you say? Or in which situation maybe?
Yeah, don't do them just in order to make one. But this is also, there are really few reasons not to make a music video, actually. Because even if you don't really especially like the song, it's always a good practice. You get a lot of, let's say, new experience. You learn a lot in the process. So there are really few things that would prevent, like, especially aspiring new, young authors not to make a music video. Maybe you don't want to make a music video for, I don't know, a Nazi band or something like that. But otherwise, I think there's always a good excuse to make a music video just to test and just to keep yourself engaged and kind of develop your creativity process. So.
Thank you very much, Matevž. I think that this is very kind of really inspiring thing, you know, like from each point of view, whatever you take, it's kind of good to make music videos. And then if it's kind of, we agree on this, that it's kind of nice experience, it could be nice experience, yeah, if you do it kind of right. How can you like tell from your own experience, you know, how you approach this process? Especially maybe you can a bit compare in the beginning when you just started, you know, to work with particular genre, and maybe now when you already have like solid experience in this field. If there is any kind of things that you learned in the process that now you see and you can say, wow, it would be super nice to know it maybe from the kind of beginning or start. Matic, maybe you can start.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting what you just pointed out, because there's definitely difference, like in approaching when, I don't know, with the first music videos like years ago or now. And for me, what I see with myself is that I'm more, I don't know, more particular and more picky nowadays. And in the beginning, it was, I just grabbed every opportunity. For me, like just going out there and getting experience or just filming anything was enough for me. And I'm glad that I took every chance I had. I don't regret one experience that I had. Like Matevž said, everyone was like a very valuable experience, and I learned from each and every one of it. So I would definitely encourage going after every idea or every chance to go out and film something in the beginning. And now, but what I don't do now is chase every idea right now, because I question it like much more. And I do more tests, and I double question every idea then again, and it turns out that I don't do as much stuff as I did before. But what I do, I more like kind of like stand behind it, like say this is like this is the way I wanted it to do. And it's also like it's a natural like progression, I think, because you want to do better stuff, you want to do, I don't know, yeah, like better music videos at the end, and that's why you question yourself much more. So that's the main difference, and I think you should start by trying everything and then narrowing down like later on, so you see like what worked and what didn't, or what could have been done better. But it's not like, you know, if I knew that, I would have done it differently. It's not like that, you know. I don't think there's like this wise advice that somebody could give you and you would just, you know, have a shortcut to making great videos. I don't think it's like that. It's great to experience it on your own.
It could be too easy, right? If and maybe too boring if you had these wise advices, yeah. But I just wonder, you know, from what you told right now, does it mean basically that now you take more time, like for this pre-production and maybe production itself, like, yeah?
Yes, exactly. I take more time for pre-production, mainly for pre-production, because production, it's normally 1 or 2 days. And post-production is pretty much, I don't know, I don't work with CGI that much or something like that would require a lot of post-production. So pre-production is what takes the most time. I try to visualize everything. I do animatics. I download other videos or images and try to put them on the song to see, like, you know, this could be a good transition. This could be a good cut. This here I missed something. This doesn't work. So I take more time with that, for example, and I go out and do a couple of tests, try to get like the image as closest to the final product as I can.
And how long this pre-production phase can last, like, let's say average?
Like I would say maybe it like can last like half a year with me, but that's basically because when the idea starts before you execute it, it can take like half a year. But really, like in terms of like thinking or something like that, I would say, I don't know, like one month, but stretched through 6 months, for example.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And I will be back to this question of length and time and timelines. But now I also would like to ask Matevž. So can you reflect maybe on this beginning and like beginning of your career and this, you know, final phase of your career almost? I'm joking.
Yeah, of course. I also I need to point out that at the beginning, let's say 10 years ago, when I first started to swim in these music video waters, it was really different. Like we were doing videos for some local bands from, let's say, Koper and the region where I'm from, and we were lucky enough to get their trust, you know, to be able to do something like that. But back then it was like I did everything. I was the director of photography, the editor. Like I also acted in some of those videos, and I couldn't say that I'm really proud now of that work, but it was all a learning process, and it was like every one of those videos was really a big experience. Thing that helped develop in the years, during the years. But the main difference, I would say, from back then, is that you get a certain amount of confidence that it's easier now to know what will work already in advance. And the other thing is the professionalization actually of the production, because now we get to work with people, you know, who are really good at their job. So really good directors of photography, producers, like set designers, and so on. So it's especially when you do music videos that include, I don't know, some like fictionalized scenes that more into like a fiction movie or actors and so on. But also, I think that music video is really open and a free form. So it really depends on the project, because I sometimes, especially lately, I do some experimental stuff as well, which I just shoot with my phone, and then I play with technology like VHS, where you don't have like anyone beside yourself, but the confidence I spoke before, then you already have a sense what's good, what's not. So it's kind of something you develop throughout the years.
And regarding this pre-production, production phases, what Matic also mentioned, is there any difference in your approach now, like, and how you can maybe also like reflect on what Matic have told, if it's the same for you?
Well, for me, it's usually I do it in shorter amount of time. It's also because sometimes bands come to you with the idea of a music video, and they say, we want to have it finished like in a month's time or something like that. So it really depends on the project. So I usually, let's say the pre-production takes for me maybe a month or less. But I sometimes use some ideas that have been cooking in my mind, I know, for years or something. But like I mentioned, that sometimes you just see something you shoot it with your cell phone, and then you have a friend who makes music, and then you can just see if it's perfect and it can be done in, I don't know, in a week, but it's a completely different form. But also, yeah, I'm working on a music video now, which we have started the pre-production process in August or September, and we still haven't started shooting, and it's going to be like 5-6 days of shooting, and it's going to be for sure more than half a year from the beginning until the final product. So it's really different from project to project.
And how do you, because also Matic, you have mentioned references, right? And that you work with different type of images before you approach, or you're trying your own idea. And how do you, Matevž, approach this? Like, do you also use references? Do you work like Matic have mentioned, like applying them already to music that you're working on?
Yeah, of course. Many times in the process of developing the idea, I watch lots of different scenes from different movies, from other music videos, and then also when we present the idea to the band, sometimes we play these clips, or the perfect way is of course just to edit it and put the song under it, and then just present it. But it's always, like in my experience, the final result it's always a bit different. But for example, I don't know, I did a music video for Koala Voice in this autumn, and let's say some shots from Stalker by Tarkovsky were a major experience, and we kind of started from there, but just kept the kind of vibe and the camera movements. So yeah, but sometimes, you know, like I mentioned, especially these video art music videos, then it's just something completely like without any references. You see something beautiful that works in the images, and then you spin it around, and it's something by itself stands and works.
And then you just need to find the music, you know, that can work with the film itself. Yeah, this is very interesting, because also you see you have, obviously both of you have different approaches to kind of the same task, let's say, yeah, this strange word for creative things. And I also wonder, because you mentioned kind of several times this like, let's say, the absence maybe, or this lack of this kind of professional industrial, you know, way of producing music videos. Also, that's why basically also budgets are completely different from what our maybe viewers from other countries can think about. How it is, like, because also you, like, I think Matic, you've told that, or Matevž, maybe you, I'm sorry, I don't remember now, that it's not exactly a profession, right? That it's more hobby, just because you can't basically live out of this kind of work. So how then, you know, like, how to balance, how to balance, you know, something that you do for like your passion, and still you put a lot of time and a lot of effort, and you have crew, so the whole production process, but, you know, in this very, very limited financial situation. So maybe this is also kind of from your own experience, how do you approach not to, you know, not to get totally depressed and frustrated after several, you know, good videos, but, you know, still kind of in need to work 10 other jobs.
Yes, like you mentioned, it's the art is about finding a balance between those two. Yes, exactly, because obviously you can't make money really from music videos, but you have to make money on the other hand, right? So it's also, like when I said that the process can take 6 months, it's also counting this in, that normally when I get, for example, I get like this request about a music video, and I say, okay, this sounds great. I need some time to like think about it and everything. And then we also need to find a gap where I don't have to work, where I can fit this in. So this also one of the reasons why we can't do it like, you know, like a job, you know, when you have the deadline, and this is the deadline when it needs to be done, and everybody gets paid on that date, and so on, so on. So that's also the reason, like why is it maybe hard to do music videos as much as you would want to do. And it's not that you're the only, like, if you're like being the main creative on the project, like director or DP or writer, there's still like other people that need to be on the project, and everybody needs to have time on that particular date and everything. So I think this is like the making it happen is really, really the hardest part, actually. It's getting everything, like, you know, down on idea, like having an animatic, you know, everything ready, but then when you need to go shoot, it's really hard to manage everybody's time if they're not paid. So I think this is the biggest challenge, and you just have to work with it. That's it. That's what happened for me for the last music video. We would had to shoot it. Hey, Stella. We had to shoot it end of August, and it didn't happen because, you know, somebody didn't have time at the end, you know, and we just had to cancel it. And then it was, we had to cross the border also, and it was Corona restriction and everything. So you just have to work with it, with that, you know. It's restrictions and limitations, but at the end, you try to make it, or you make some compromises at the end, right?
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, yeah, it's from maybe someone's perspective, these compromises, yeah, that we need to make. Matevž, and what about you from this point of view? How you kind of balance this situation?
Yeah, for sure. The factor of finding a gap among other stuff that you do for a living, it's always a factor with preparing the pre-production of music videos. The second thing is that you always need to be really creative in terms of getting favors from friends in the industry, maybe to get some equipment or, I don't know, post-production. So as I mentioned, in Slovenia, especially in this field of, let's say, not really mainstream music, it's always kind of limited to, I don't know, 1,000 to 2,500 euros, let's say, which is quite a lot, I would say, in our ground. So we don't really get the chance to work with in perfect circumstances, which is in a way also good, because then you need to be really creative and use this limitation and find the advantages, or you just learn how to be, how to make the maximum of what you have. So I never had a chance to work like as I would like to have all the equipment, everyone there. So it's always some compromises, but I think this is also a good thing in terms of a good challenge. But it can be really frustrating at times, because I don't know, when you do this for years, and then you see that you don't have a chance, to go further than that in a way. So this is why you kind of keep it low profile. We do 2 or 3 music videos per year for songs that we really like, just to keep ourselves kind of working and thinking and testing new stuff, as I mentioned.
Mm-hmm. It's very, very interesting what you're both saying, especially because like situation in Slovenia, it's not so unique, but still it's also unique in some way, also in this field of music video production. I think so, at least. And I really wonder, in all this discussion, I think that for a lot of people, there will be also question kind of, like quality. Quality in a situation of this very limited budget, in situation of very limited time that you can spend on working with videos. And also this kind of, this idea that kind of we can do music video for 300 euros and you don't need to have 10,000 euros, to make the same kind of good music video. So what do you think about this? Is it true? Kind of like, can we in general, have this measurement, how expensive video was to talk about kind of production quality, not creative, of course.
Sorry, can you sum up the question again, just a little bit?
Yeah, from this point of view, that if we don't basically have budget, we can't produce qualitative videos, let's say, like shortly.
If we can, no. I don't think it's like directly related, relative, like budget, like quality, because like Matevž said, we are all like in this industry, like somehow connected, and we have people we can ask favors for, and sometimes creative people see some like potential of like being involved in this project, even if for no money, like costumographers, like set designers and people like that, or like actors. So it's a lot of times it's, of course, it starts as a passion project, and you try to get other people passionate about it as well, other creatives on the project. So if they are passionate, I think the quality is going to be great, but still you are limited at one point, because not everything can be, asked for a favor. Either is it equipment, or you need more just manpower, or you need a location you cannot afford, you cannot get, or stuff like that. It's always limitations. So no budget does not mean bad quality, not at all. But it means limitations in even thinking about the idea, and it means I don't know. I think of it like you don't have so many favors in the air. You can only ask for so many favors. So you really need to choose then, what's going to be this project. Is it really this project worth it to ask that favor? You know what I mean? So it's a bit frustrating to be limited all the time on just favors, and like thinking about the project in the beginning just with all these production limitations. So we would be delighted to work with money,
If I may add something.
Of course, please.
Like even if we talk in terms of, I don't know, a music video with 300 euro budget or 1,500 euro budget, it's never the real value of the video, because as we are explaining, like all of these favors and like most of the crew working for free. If you would estimate this in, let's say, in the context of how much would these people get paid if this would be a real world, let's say, you know, the real value of the music video, it's always, I don't know, it would be 10 times more than it was made. So basically, you cannot work this way forever. So this, yeah, and also, yeah, I would just like to mention that most of the people that work on a video, they don't get any fees or like I never take a directorial or editor's fee for a music video. I prefer to invest, you know, these 200 or 300 euros into production and to get something, let's say, out of it more. So yeah.
So then, you know, like the following up question, do you kind of consider maybe for yourself immigration abroad? Because obviously, you know, in other countries, also for music videos, budgets are bigger and film production budgets in general. I mean, it's just kind of more philosophical question, existential, but still, I mean, if you ever had this idea, you know, like, oh, maybe I go to Germany or UK.
For me, of course, like the idea about getting paid for doing stuff like that, it's tempting, of course. So the thought has appeared, but I love like living here so much. I love like Ljubljana lifestyle. I think it's like the best lifestyle you have, and for me personally, and I just want to live and work here. So yes, if an opportunity came, I would love to go abroad for a project, but I wouldn't go live in London and search for more, you know, jobs in music videos just because I can get paid there. It's not like that. For me.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
and
Matic.
also, yeah, I also think that it's not that easy because the scene is. It's always hard to enter into a scene when you like if you move to Berlin or I don't know London, you would already need to be working with someone from the industry from before, because if you just decide to move and try to luck there, I think it's really hard to penetrate the scene and succeed. And I think that both me and Matic kind of have our ground built here. We have our work revolves around the local projects and so on. So and also, as I said, I don't really make a living out of directing. So I never would think about migrating in these terms. And also the music video directors are also in the industry always kind of targets of I don't know, memes and like a lot of people make fun of themselves because it's always a job that it's really hard to make a living from. So basically everyone that makes music videos, they make commercials to survive, I would say, and then they do music videos to test and experiment and like more out of passion. And then I think there's 1% of music video directors that actually make a living out of it. There's also this page on Instagram, which is called Director Content, which is, and it involves a lot of really funny memes regarding music video directors and production. So.
This is very interesting because I also kind of want to follow up a bit what you've mentioned, because one of my questions is actually kind of the scene or community of people with whom you also working, but also growing, you know, and I wonder if also maybe kind of not demand, but interest from the music side of this question, like from the bands, is changing also in years. Like, do you see, because also like bands don't have money, you know, and so on and so forth, but do you see that like bands want to have music videos, and how it is like maybe when you started and now, if there is any change from this point of view, like more demand, less demand, people are more kind of searching some more interesting ways to present their music, if there is any change in the field?
I don't know really, like right now it's kind of a funny time. I mean, not so funny actually, it's just a bad time for bands in particular, because you know the bands that we work, me at least, and I think Matevž also. Those are the bands that the only money that they really make are by playing gigs, which are not going on right now for quite a long time already. So what I noticed now is like, maybe like the need to, maybe like the wish to have like some music videos being done, but even harder to get any budgets going on, even like a few €100 and stuff like that. So I don't know how this is gonna go on. But in general, like before all that Corona shit, I don't know if I noticed like in particular some kind of difference that would be worth mentioning. There was a demand before and there still is demand now. It's just like limitations now even bigger in a budget aspect and also as a production aspect right now. Even like going out and shooting, it's very, very limited. So right now I don't have, for example, like something going on. I have something that would have been done in August, but hadn't been. So we're just gonna, it's kind of on hold.
Yeah, I can imagine that now it's like not the best time in any case. But Matevž, did you notice, I mean, any kind of, because I also wonder, because kind of what I know in Slovenia, like bands can give their music clips to national TV, right? So this is one of the places like for mass distribution. Otherwise, it's probably YouTube, right? Like there is no other platforms for distribution. That's why also this kind of my question connected to this, if there is change from this point of view, that maybe there are no new ways how to distribute, and then also forms should be adapted to these new distribution platforms.
Yeah, I would definitely mention that the golden age of music videos is actually long gone, because I think in the, let's say, end of the 90s and early 2000s, especially in Slovenia, all the music videos were broadcasted on different TV shows, and there was this show called Video Spotnica. I think that everyone looked and watched, and we were really paying attention to what's new, and music videos were maybe even more popular. Like it's also a legacy of MTV's revolution and so on. And also the budgets back then were much higher than they are now. So I think that directors back then could buy, I don't know, a flat with fees that they made with music videos. But this changed a lot with the internet, and also with the digitalization of equipment and so on. So it became easier to produce music videos and to distribute them in a way. But also it became much cheaper. And yeah, the fees really fell down and so on. And also the television kind of lost interest in really programming videos, as we see, like MTV has really turned into reality shows, and let's say there are a few cable channels in Slovenia that still kind of play music videos in their off program, but there's no real, let's say, channel besides YouTube, at least as far as I know, to present your music video. There are some exceptions, like there's been the new section at Tresk Music Festival nowadays that kind of had competition music videos and the screening, but I would say YouTube is the main, and yeah, the main channel for distribution.
Yeah, this can cause different reactions. It's sad and kind of happy, both, yeah, simultaneously. I know that we have questions from the audience, so let's embrace this situation. Spela?
Yes, our audience is participating, and the question goes like this. So if you have any specific web pages that you would recommend to where you go for reference, any kind of reference when it comes to your work?
Or maybe video spots and directors of music videos. Yeah.
Should I go? Matic?
Specific website, I wouldn't say. I follow like different directors and DPs on pages like Vimeo and Instagram, and mostly like the directors and DPs that make some products normally that they upload it on Vimeo. And this is kind of also like my base where I go check the feed, and when some new stuff comes up, I check it and I like it, and I can have like these little collections for myself there. And that's also a place where I go and to look for some inspiration on some particular idea that maybe is already in development. So this is like the main go-to page for me. And later on, when it comes to like already like storyboarding and stuff like that, I use like Film Grab for references to find like pictures that capture some kind of mood or like composition or stuff like that.
Yeah, and I would recommend maybe visiting the Canada webpage, so the famous Spanish music video production that kind of revolutionized the music video scene a bit, and they always have really interesting and it's a groundbreaking stuff. So if you just go there and watch all of their music videos, you'll get a lot of inspiration for sure. There are also several pages on Instagram, I think, that they just put on really cool clips from music videos or films. I know that some people also get inspiration, I don't know, just on Pinterest or something. For me, one of the interesting go-to points is also the Adult Swim, so the famous production and studio. And they have this kind of series called Off the Air, which is a really bizarre compilation of let's say animations or I don't know, commercials or just YouTube video clips, and they kind of edit these really short clips into collages and they put music and it's all on YouTube. And I would recommend maybe watching this just to get some fun, and it's bizarre and really well made. And you for sure you get some ideas maybe from there as well. So Off the Air, just write it on YouTube and you will get I don't know, I think 20 episodes of that.
Thank you so much. I think this is very kind of good things to know, for especially those who are just starting their way in this field. And as we're kind of coming closer and closer to the second part of our talk today, I would like to ask you maybe the kind of final question, and it's not directly connected to music videos, but still it can be, because we're asking this question already 2 weeks, people, torturing them with this question, but maybe it's not so torturing this time. And basically, because you mentioned so many times, and not only you, a lot of people, answering questions, we were during these weeks were mentioning passion, that we need to be passionate, and if we are passionate, then everything works. And I kind of asking to share, your kind of not maybe ideas, but at least where you can refill this passion, or what gives you this passion, that maybe your answer will help someone who is now out of this passion. So if you have something in your mind, I would be very glad if you share with us.
For me, I think it's really simple. I hope it's not too it's banal. I find passion, I don't know, from watching films basically. So every once in a while I rewatch a film, or I just kind of find something that really inspires me, and it gives you, this kick that why you're doing what you're doing. And yeah, so mainly good films. This can be everything, like experimental stuff, or a film made 100 years ago, or just a trash B movie, for that matter. So this is my answer.
Thank you so much. Matic, and for you, maybe?
Yeah, for me as well. Also, like especially now these times when I spend so much time at home, I value this time, that I appreciate this time that I have time to watch movies, and I really like watch a lot of movies, and they always trigger something in me, and it's great because you're not there to look for something, but you're there for the story, for you get sucked in, and then some stuff just pops up, you know, which is great, I think. It's not like that you go there because you're looking for something in particular, but it triggers. And then I don't know, I make screenshots, I write down like notes and stuff like that, and I keep those in like some folders, more or less organized. And then when, you know, something comes up that requires an idea, I look for those folders and I kind of like try to connect the dots and make something happen out of there. I mean, at least I have something to go look into it. So yeah, watching movies mostly for me as well. This works.
Thank you so much. You see, we're visual people, you know, because I would also go towards this answer more or less. And thank you so much for sharing actually your views, ideas, but also a lot of very useful and practical information. You know, that 100% I'm sure it's very useful for everyone who is watching us right now. And also, as you mentioned, watching films, I would like just to mention that our viewers still have possibility to watch a selection of Luksuz Cheap Films Festival till midnight today. So use this opportunity. Some good films and inspiring films you can also find on our YouTube. So thank you so much, Matevž and Matic. I really wish you to overcome all the obstacles on your way as soon as possible, and that we will be able to enjoy, you know, your beautiful creations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Spela?
Yes, I would also just like to thank you for taking the time, and I wish you a lot of, how would I say, like smooth sailing when it comes to your work and all the obstacles that Sasha said. And I also need to say that we are back in 10 minutes, so at 5 o'clock for a final Q&A of this festival. So don't forget to join us. We'll be talking with participants of the workshop where Matic and Matevž were mentors. Okay, so quick break, snack, toilet, and then we'll see each other at 5 o'clock. And thank you again for coming, Matevž and Matic. Have a great evening. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.